Welcome to my YouTube channel. Okay, now today we're going to talk about quantum jumping. Okay, now before we get into that, I just want to tell you something. Uh, Basically, I need you to subscribe. This channel is relatively new, and if you like the video, you can hit like, but I need you to subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, basically just exit this channel now. That's the bottom line. I'm being blunt about it. A lot of people, they produce videos and they get, like thousands of views, and they've got hardly any subscribers. Well, if if you don't get 1,000 subscribers, you can't monetize your actual channel. So like I said, if you're not going to subscribe, piss off. Okay, there you go. I said it. And now there's another thing. This is about law of attraction. Okay. Now you might say to yourself, well, hey, this guy's hardly got any subscribers and everything. And he just, said basically piss off if if you don't subscribe. Well, I'll tell you something. This whole technique doesn't work. Uh, it does work, but it doesn't work for someone that lives in a toxic environment. And currently, I live in a toxic environment. I don't want to go into the details of that, but I can tell you it's hell on earth. I'm living in another country. I'm an Australian. I'm living in a third world bloody ghetto. And, I want to get out of the situation that I'm in, but, I'm working on that. I have used the law of attraction in the past when I was not in a toxic environment, and it worked for me. I have written a lot of books about law of attraction techniques, so I'm not a novice. I know what I'm talking about, and let's just get into this. Okay, law of attraction techniques. Now, what I'm providing you with today is something that you can start using straight away. Okay, and I'm going to explain everything to you. Okay. Now, law of attraction technique should be based on the laws of the universe. Now, look, there's laws in this universe, okay, and they, these laws of the universe um, are quantum based, okay. You know, not. You see, you've got two things. You've got the quantum world and you've got physics, right? You've got to think of physics in terms of Albert Einstein. Now, Albert Einstein, basically is old hat, like it's just, like one, basically he's a 1 + 1 = 2 type of guy. Whereas the quantum world is a lot more complicated. And guys like Albert Einstein couldn't deal, he almost had a nervous breakdown, because the quantum world basically detracted from what he was doing. It basically proved him wrong. But that's a whole nother story. And I don't want to dedicate this to telling you that Albert Einstein's an idiot. But you know anyway, look, law of attraction technique should be based on the laws of the universe. Manifestation using visualization is a way to reinvent yourself. If you need to, okay, and you need to have love in your heart and forgive everyone and everything that you dislike in your life. Okay, and I mean everyone and everything. You gotta love plants, animals, people. Someone might have done something bad to you. Someone might have even killed someone. but you've got to forgive them. And you know, like it's not easy. So keep that in mind. You are basically a programmable computer, and to unlock your true potential, you should start using the techniques I outline in this video. Now, I said that you're a programmable computer. Now, what you've got to understand, and this might sound ridiculous, but your DNA is an antenna to the universe. Okay? You are much more than you think. Now, let's just run through a few things here that I want you to understand in full. Okay, let's just go to here, this DNA. Okay. Now, basically, you know, like this is YouTube DNA. Okay. Now, there's a guy, this guy here, his name's Greg Braden. Now, uh, what he's basically, he's on the right track, but I don't know why, but he seems to avoid certain subjects. Maybe that's because, look, the guy's selling books left, right, and centre. He's got a whole heap of bestsellers, and then I'm pretty much sure that he's funded by an organisation which I don't want to mention the name of. And you know, I don't know. Look, he's a smart guy, but he just seems to be holding back on a few things. But the whole thing about it is what he's trying to, you know, in some of his videos he talks about, um, well, he talks about DNA, and what he's basically on about. You see, you've got to understand DNA. DNA comprises of basically 4 letters, okay? And all of those letters are rearranged in different ways, which are unique. Now, the uniqueness, you see, if you wanted to write your whole DNA, you'd have to work 8 hours a day for 50 years. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. And, you know, our DNA is very complex. Now, when our DNA is under stress and anxiety, it, it, it basically, it doesn't work properly. And that's why you've got to get the hell out of a toxic environment if you want my technique to work. Okay? Now, also, something that well, he basically talks about is that within our DNA, there is a message from whoever created our DNA. And, you know, basically, whoever or whatever it is, you know, basically says, you know, that I'm the creator. He's left his signature, or whoever it is left their signature on it. And that's been deciphered into words. So what I'm trying to say is that you can store information on DNA, and that's a whole new realm of you know, basically possibilities in the future, and it has been done. But I just don't want to go into that at this point. And also, what you've got to understand, and I did write a book about this, and you know, our DNA was changed 200,000 years ago. You know, and that's pretty much proven. You know, basically we went from, you know, like Neanderthal lunatics to what you've got today. Now, I'm not, I'm not downgrading, like basically, uh, like evolution theories, but you've got to understand it. It it's not important. Look, all you've got to understand is our DNA was changed 200,000 years ago. Okay, and that that is why we can think, and we're not running around, you know, like dogs in a street, basically, and monkeys climbing up and down trees. You know, okay. Now, okay. So, okay, I've explained that. Now, let's go to this book. This is one book that I wrote. Now, in this book, I go on about a few things, but the most important part. Now, there's a lot of there's a lot of reasoning behind my method, and I just want to try and avoid going into the like the full details of why you've got to do this. Like I just want to give you the steps. Now you can start this today. Like after you finished watching this, you can start. So look, as I mentioned earlier, you've got to forgive everyone in your life, yeah, that has caused you heartbreak, and start to love everything and everyone. And you don't want to like, you want to love. And in addition, you've got to get rid of all the toxicity in your life, because it's, like I said, your DNA is an antenna. It's like this big computer, and it basically receives and sends, and it doesn't function properly if you've got stress and heartbreak and all of these things in your life. Okay. Now you've got to plant the ambition in your seed in your head, like like what do you want to be? Like you know, what do you want to do? Like you might want to be successful at something. Okay, you might want to be a singer. You might want to be a famous author. You might want to be this, that, or the other. Anyway, you've got to plant that seed in your head. Okay. Now, um, what you'll find is if you start doing these first two steps, uh, what what you'll start finding. Well, let me talk about another one. If you want to win the lottery, for example, you'd want to start purchasing tickets on a regular basis. Uh, okay, yeah, a lot of people are interested in basically manifesting that they want to win a lottery. Okay, now what you'll find just from following these two steps is that uh, this whole manifestation process could start working for you. But to get rid of anxiety and stress and all of that, you should listen to 432 hertz or 528 hertz music. And you can basically get access to that on YouTube. You just put 322 hertz or 520 hertz, into your search, and there's a whole heap of videos with that type of music, which is targeted for what I'm trying to tell you about. And what you need to do is you need to see yourself as successful, as being successful. You've got to visualize it. And you don't want to be thinking, I want to be successful. You need to see yourself as successful. You've got to actually really, really visualize it. You need to see yourself walking around after you win the lottery, or after you've become a famous basketball player, or after you've you know, or walking around a company that you created, or whatever. You know, like you've just got to visualize that it's happened, and you are now a part of that, you know, success. And you really need to try and smell the smells that you would smell in, you know, in the success environment, and taste the foods that you would taste in that success environment. And you need to have love and compassion in your heart. Okay, now another thing that I suggest you do is, you know, you've got all the forgiveness, okay, in your heart. You've forgiven everyone. You're loving everything, and you're going to visualize it, right? Now, before you go to sleep at night, you should really, like all night, you should keep 432 hertz or 528 hertz music, you know, playing, you know, while you're sleeping, okay? And before you go to sleep, you know, you want to think about all this, you know, like the visualization aspect, you know, process and all of that. And then what you'll find is that, you know, don't give up. You know, like it's going to happen organically. Okay. Now, that's it. I don't want to go on about this anymore. That's what you got to do. And I'm going to stop recording. And remember, you need to subscribe. And if you like this video, hit like. And you really need to hit notification, because I too put videos out about things like this. Okay, thank you, bye.